taking charge. Carl's geeking out, his knowledge large. Ryan's dropping facts like a game pro. On Party Chat, we'll steal the show. Plug in your headphones, feel the beat. Talking games with passion can't be beat. From launch parties to quests untold, Party Chat's the place to be, we're bold.
Favorite games of all time, pixelated worlds and icy climes, controllers and joysticks we adore. Level up with us, there's so much more. Plug in your headphones, feel the beat. Talking games with passion can't be beat. From launch parties to quests untold, Party Chat's the place to be, we're bold.
Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday evening. It is time for another episode of Party Chat. Hope you are all doing well this wonderful evening. And Carl, glad to have you back. I know you had to miss last one, so you were missed on last episode. Unfortunately, Ryan will be missing this episode. But how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty peachy keen. It's no longer negative 25 here. It's now a beautiful 10 degrees Fahrenheit. So a heat wave.
Glad you're getting this heat wave. I've heard some crazy stuff come out of the Midwest lately.
Yeah, the trees are exploding.
I won't rub it in that it was like 60 degrees today.
It was like 86 in Florida.
I heard. I was like, holy shnikes. That is
and now it's going to be like 20 degrees there. And I guess Pensacola, which is the panhandle, I guess got like 7 inches of snow or something.
Oh my goodness. That is wild.
Yeah, I know. And over here in Illinois, we didn't get any snow. We got like maybe like a quarter of an inch. But I as a person who has to drive in this crap all winter long, it's funny to see how the South and everywhere else just melts down as soon as they get any snow, and everyone just forgets how to drive and function as a normal human. Seeing the videos of people, I shouldn't laugh at this, but it's funny to see those videos of Texas drivers, and there's just this like 7-car pileup because they keep skidding out on sleet and ice and everything, and you'll still see a random car just like earlier today. I just saw a video where it's just a random like a Ford SUV, and this dude just spinning into this giant pile of 7 other cars who also met the same fate, and there's just some guy who pulled over just to videotape everyone. It's just like, oh man.
Yep, I haven't seen any of those recently, but I've seen those videos where cars like barely even moving, but you can see that they're hitting the brakes. They're just sliding down the road like slowly into another car, and they can't do anything about it. So, yeah.
But to throw it out there too, Illinois drivers also suck at driving in the snow, and they always get into car crashes, which makes me even more annoyed driving home because I go, how do you do this every year?
Like, how do you live here when this is not new? It's like in Texas, it makes sense because that's kind of out of the ordinary, but in a place that's very normal for the winter.
Yeah. So. Well, see, I excuse people if they're city dwellers because they don't know how to drive in general.
That's true.
You know? But like out here, I'm like, why are you guys constantly getting into crashes? This is the burbs. You should know how to drive into stuff.
So, all right. Well, let's go ahead and welcome our guest inside, my friend Jeff from Suns and Shadows, my buddy in Stargate love. Although he way outdoes me in that category. But good to have you on, Jeff. How's it going?
Going good. Happy to not live in Wisconsin anymore. I'm down in Arizona these days. So.
Oh, okay. I knew you were in Arizona. I didn't know where you were originally. From the northwest.
Yep. Carl is not wrong about anything he just said. I'm back here in the back room, just going, yep.
Yeah, they love their fibs in Wisconsin.
Yep. So, well, welcome aboard. I see Idaho Mike is in chat. Good evening, Idaho Mike. He says Nerd Slap strikes again. Great intro. Yep. As no surprise that that was from my buddy Nerd Slap, who was on Jeff's channel with last week. I think it was last week. We were
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Shout out to Nerd Slap. He did some great work. So, Idaho Mike says it's sunny and 77 here in. Is that in China?
I'm guessing so.
Yep. He's in China.
No idea how to pronounce it. And his name is Idaho Mike. That doesn't make any sense, but I guess, we're friends with the Angry Canadian who's in Japan. So,
Yes.
so, all right. Well, welcome, Idaho Mike, and welcome to Party Chat, Jeff. First time, I think, on my channel.
Oh, yeah. I
Always
think so.
chatting with you. I was just telling Carl, he's like, so who's this guest? I'm like, my buddy Jeff, who I've been on his channel for a few times for Stargate stuff, but we have not talked video games yet. So tonight that's what we're doing, because that's what I do here on my channel.
Hey, I'm old school. I go all the way back to Atari days, so I had to dig out the shirt just for being like, hey, video game talk finally.
Yes. So, all right. Well, before we get into our topics for tonight, I'd like to go around the panel and just give everyone a chance to kind of talk a little bit about whatever they've been playing lately. So, Jeff, have you been playing anything lately?
Shinobi Art of Vengeance on my PS5. I am
I
still
don't
working
have
on
it
it.
yet, but
It's
I want.
Pain in the ass, but I hate it and love it at the same time. I'm a big Shinobi guy. I've been a Shinobi fan for years, from Genesis, Game Gear, all the way to what we got now, and I think this is a fantastic game.
I don't have it yet because I'm patient and frugal, so I'll wait till it goes on a steep sale. But I'm very much looking forward to playing that game from the moment it was announced. I'm like, that looks great. The only Shinobi game I've ever played, though, was I played Shinobi 3 on my friend's Sega Genesis one time, like when I was like 7 or 8 or something. And I liked it, but I played it for a few minutes. But when they announced Art of Vengeance, like, that looked fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I played a fun Shinobi game on the PS2, which I do think got a quasi sequel. I forget the name off the top of my head, but you played as the female Shinobi girl from that game as well. It's a very, I wouldn't say expensive.
Shinobi.
Um,
Unless it was the sequel to it.
Yeah, there's a PS2 game just called Shinobi.
Yeah, there was another one where you play as the girl ninja. I forget her name off the top of my head.
I wouldn't.
If I can look it up real quick. I think I own it. Let me just double check. But that game was fun. I remember it was hard as hell though as a kid too, growing up.
The Shinobi PS2 game does have retro achievements for anyone who's interested.
It's a fun game. It's definitely different than what you were used to before that.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, it looks like it's a 3D where all the Shinobis. I would assume prior to that were all 2D.
Yeah, they were all like the 2D side scrollers. That's why Art of Vengeance, when that came out, I'm like, at some point I gotta buy that thing.
Yeah, because it was funny because that one and a franchise that I'm a huge fan of, they both got very similar games announced at the exact same time. And that was Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. And if I had to pick between them, I would pick Ragebound just because I'm a huge Ninja Gaiden fan. But I do really want to play Art of Vengeance. But speaking of Ragebound, that actually just joined Game Pass this week, so I was able to get started, and I beat the first level or two, and I'm liking it. I'll probably get into it. Like, this is a game I'm going to play through in like a couple of weeks, but right now I just want to put an achievement on it, get it on my tag, and kind of feel out how it is, and play the first 2 levels, I think, and I like it. So glad that showed up. So all right, Shinobi Art of Vengeance, very nice. So, and speaking his name, shall appear. I see Nerd Slap is in chat. What's up, Nerd Slap? Good evening, buddy. We're just admiring your awesome intro. Thank you again, as always, for your awesome work. Says Stargate is a documentary. Yes, it is.
Damn straight.
So, Idaho Mike says, I live in China, but my heart will always remain in Idaho. I understand. My dad has talked many times of like moving to Idaho. He hasn't done it yet, but I know he wants to. So, Carl, what have you been playing lately?
I wanted to say that name of the game, Nightshade.
Oh, Nightshade. I've not heard of that.
It's called
one.
Nightshade.
Oh, I played that. Yeah.
That was the name of the game. I couldn't remember it off the top of my head.
That is an offshoot of
That's
Shinobi.
a PS2?
Yes, that is also a PS2 game.
Nightshade.
And it's
also an NES
like a
game.
spin-off kind of offshoot, but it is in the Shinobi universe.
Yeah, I know that the Koichi, however you say it, she's in Shinobi PS2 game, and then she's later on there. Because the only reason I know that is because of Project Cross Zone.
Oh,
they're both in that game together.
It's funny you mentioned Project Crosszone because I haven't heard you talk about it in a while, but I just re-listened to Top 5 JRPGs today, and you mentioned that one on that one.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, but that was because it was driving me insane when you brought up Shinobi. I'm like, there was another game. So Nightshade was the one. I don't own it. I thought I did, but yes.
Never heard of it. But yeah, it's in the Shinobi universe, and it also has retro achievements.
Yeah. As for me, what I've been playing is I just started Final Fantasy 3 from the Pixel remaster.
Okay.
So I played exactly 15 minutes of it last night. Because I think I got distracted playing Age of Empires 2, which I have been sucked into because I have Game Pass Ultimate. So they give you little extra bonus points every time you play a game on PC and play a game on Xbox. So I kind of go and get my daily reward points every time and pick up a bunch of pick up and put down type of games. And because of the recent Xbox event too, excuse me, I've been playing a lot of Forza Horizon 5 as well.
Ah, okay. Horizon 5 was Mexico, right?
See.
Okay. All right. Well, cool. For myself, I recently just played through Mega Man Maverick Hunter X, which is a remake of the original. And I saw a lot of people say it's better than the original. I think, and one of the cool things they added is a second campaign where you, after you beat the game, you unlock the ability to play through it as Vile. And I think that was really interesting. I actually liked playing through it as Vile better than Mega Man just because of the way Mega Man plays in that game. I prefer the original SNES version of Mega Man X to Maverick Hunter X, but I did really enjoy playing through the game as Vile because it's the first and only time, as far as I know, in any game that Vile has been a playable character. So that was really cool. And then on the Xbox side of things, for Metroidvania Monday, I just finished playing Revenge of the Savage Planet last night on stream, and I had a lot of fun with that game. Journey to the Savage Planet is in my top 5 Metroidvanias. I love that game, so I was very excited for this one. Finally got around to playing it, and I loved it just as much, if not more, than the first one. I haven't decided yet which one I like more, but they are both excellent. I enjoyed it greatly. And then the other main thing I've been putting a decent amount of time in, and I beat the main game, but there's like I think when this game originally released, they released the base game and then a DLC, and then they re-release it later. And as one whole package, and that's Origami Shadow Edition. Ooh. And so I've beaten the base game, and I'm now starting the DLC campaign. So I beat. There's 4 missions in the DLC campaign. I've beaten the first one, so I'm getting close to the end of that one. And because I'm a big fan of stealth games, I was like, I got to play this game. It's good. It's not, I didn't like it as much as I thought I was going to, but I also didn't dislike it. So it's very kind of like middle of the road. But I'll talk about it more on Backlog Battling on your channel in the next week or two, Carl. But it's a good stealth game. And I don't know when I'm going to be playing Origami 2, but I will be playing that sometime in the near future. So that's kind of the gist on what I've been playing lately. So, and Idaho Mike says, I've been live streaming my Red Dead Redemption 2 online sessions lately. Got some watchers chiming in. Pretty cool. Well, awesome. I'm not a fan of that game or just Rockstar's games in general, but I know that so many people love Red Dead and GTA. So, if you're enjoying it, that's the important part. And hope you're having fun with that. So, all right. With that, we will go ahead and get into our topics for tonight. So the first topic on the agenda is kind of not a rehash, but a spinoff of a previous topic. A couple of similar topics we've done in the past. Like we've done an episode, or we did a topic on if you could only play games from one letter, start with one letter, what letter would it be? And we've had a couple other similar questions, but this one I had pop into my head just a week or two ago. I was just trying to come up with ideas for Party Chat, and I was like, oh, that's a good one. That's if you could only play games from a single genre, what genre would you pick to play for, for all eternity? Not all eternity, but, if you can only play one genre from now on, what genre would that be? So I'll go ahead and start. No, I'll go last. Jeff, do you want to go ahead and start us off on this one?
This might be a little show my age, but any shmups, overhead shooters.
Ooh. I love shmups.
I love my bullet hell ones too. So like I grew up on Raiden and 1942, 44. Yeah, 42.
42.
And I've loved those games since the very beginning. That's what got me into video games to start with.
Okay. I'm good at shmups. I'm not great at shmups, but I do love them. And Raiden, even though I haven't played very many of them, Raiden out of all the shmups has still to this day been my favorite. I haven't found one that I've played that really scratches that itch the way that the Raiden games do.
Ikaruga is about the closest one in my book for a Raiden level game. That's pretty good.
That one, I've not played it, but I do own it on a couple of different locations. But I do know that game very well because it has a very it has a reputation.
Yes, it does.
To put it lightly. So, Carl, I know I don't know if you played it, but I know you're familiar with it, right?
Which game was that? Sorry.
I always say Ikaruga, but other people say like, no, you're saying it wrong. It's Ikaruga. It is Ikaruga. Okay, but Ikaruga then.
I thought you were just trying to talk to yourself for a second. No, I've never played that game. I've heard it's really good, and it's one of those really good original GameCube.
It is on GameCube.
Yep.
That's a very expensive one to add to the collection, but I've never played it. I think I own it because I think I bought through backwards compatibility on Xbox.
I own it on Xbox Live Arcade via. I think I got it with Games with Gold.
Yeah,
and I think I also own it. You know what? Let me see. I have it. I have my entire catalog on GameShelf. Let me pull Ikaruga. I own it on. Oh yeah, okay. I thought I owned it elsewhere, like on Steam or on Epic via like the free games, but nope. On 360 via Games with Gold because I never bought it, but it's. So for anyone who hasn't played it, it has a really interesting like polarity system where you switch between light and dark, and you're immune to shots that are the same polarity, and you can only take damage from the opposite polarity. And same with the enemies that you're shooting at; they're immune to the opposite polarity of whatever they are. So it's very talk about a bullet hell. It's brutally difficult from what I hear. I haven't played it. I've heard it's so hard, but I've heard it's a really good game.
And it's available on PlayStation too, PlayStation Network, PlayStation 4. So if you're PlayStation people, you can find it on there too. It's like $10.
Okay. Yeah, I do have it on. Oh, you know what? I think on 360 at one point it was even free to. It was free, not even through Games with Gold. It's just you could go on. I don't know if it was a glitch or something on the storefront, but I remember seeing it in the Discord or something like, hey, Ikaruga's free. So I went, anytime a game is free, I'll go and like claim the license to it. Even if I have no intention of ever playing it. So I've got all these games that I will never, ever play, but the access to more games, the better.
Well, look at my PlayStation Network library. I got so many goddamn games in there that were free from the
from the
subscription.
I forget what it's called. Is it PlayStation Plus?
Yeah.
That's basically their version of Games with Gold, I assume, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I think I have an external hard drive for my Xbox that's 8 terabytes, and I filled it all the way up, and I still have so much like stuff that's just not downloaded.
I could, if I installed everything, I could probably easily take up probably more than that on my Xbox as well.
Same with my Steam and every other thing too.
I don't keep that much stuff installed all at one time anymore. Okay, well, shmups, that's great. I recently added like a whole bunch to my Xbox library that I haven't played yet. One of the ones that looks amazing, I'm looking forward to getting to at some point, is it's like Cygni. It's like CYNGI. Do you know of that one?
No.
Cygni,
Shoot 'em ups are not my specialty.
So I bought it on Xbox, and I also got it free on Epic Games when it was free one time. And it's like a beautiful looking game too. And it's got this, from the little bit that I played, it has kind of like this it has like an elevation aspect to it. So there's like a lot of shmups, you'll have like planes and stuff, but you also have things on the ground. But you actually have to shift your aim between things that are airborne, which are on the same plane as you, and then things that are on the ground that are, on a lower plane than you. So you actually have to like aim down, and you have to switch back and forth to shoot different targets.
Oh, I'm looking at screenshots right now. Oh my god.
I was wondering if you had played it because it looks like a really good shmup.
Ooh, I might now.
So, all right, shmups. That's a good answer. I've played a decent amount of them. There's still so many that I need to play. But yeah, I do love shmups.
Steel Empire's a fun side-scrolling one.
Steel Empire. I've not heard of that one. Is that just spelled regular Steel? Steel?
Yep.
Steel Empire. I'm looking it up now. Let's see here. Steel Empire.
Going back to the Sega Genesis days, everybody.
Genesis. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd not heard of that one. Probably the main side-scrolling shmup that I played back in the day was R-Type.
Yeah.
I had R-Type DX on my Game Boy Color. And I remember beating that game was so difficult because the Game Boy wasn't good enough to render everything. So the final boss of the game would shoot lasers at you, but they would disappear, so you couldn't see them, but they would still hit you. So you had to keep in your head like the trajectory of it, so you knew where it was, even though you couldn't see it. It was so
recognition.
But I remember when I beat that game, I was like, finally. So, shmups. All right. Well, good answer. Well, I'll have to talk to you some more about some shmups later on because I've got other ones that I want to ask you about. But we'll go ahead and continue on here. Carl, if you had to pick one genre to play from now on, what genre would that be?
I'm going with the cheat code, and that's going to be RPGs.
Okay. That was one that I was considering, but I'll talk about that more in a little bit. So go ahead and expand on that a little bit.
Well, RPG has basically been devalued so much now that it's basically in every type of genre that you can think of.
I'm using almost that exact same argument for my pick.
Yeah, so you got your first-person shooter RPGs with like Borderlands. You got your third-person action-adventure RPGs with something like Horizon Zero Dawn. And then, of course, you got your regular straight-up turn-based open-world RPGs, JRPGs. And, that covers like games like Fallout, Persona, stuff that I love a lot. Even games that are considered not RPGs by some people are considered RPGs, like Yakuza or even Dark Souls, Monster Hunter. So there's a lot of games out there that fall into this category of just RPG or has RPG-like mechanics is one of their things. Because game development has now expanded to just be more complex and allow people to put in more systems and stuff like that they could get into something and have an RPG tagged on them just because, well, there's a level tree on there, so ergo facto RPG.
Yep.
So I just go with the cheat codes. Plus, I'm kind of the RPG guy in the group that plays all the weeb crap and the ching chong slop. So I might as well just get it out there and just play that stuff.
That was when I was thinking about this one. That's what I figured your answer was going to be, and that makes sense. And I did consider RPGs because Mass Effect is my favorite franchise of all time, and that's an RPG. But when I was looking at like the broader RPGs in general, as there's just not enough of them that RPGs appeal to you far more broadly than it does to me because I'm a bit more nitpicky on my RPGs. So I definitely I considered it, but I was like, that's too narrow for me to go with RPGs. But I kind of figured that you would go with RPGs because they're basically the entire spectrum of RPGs. You're a fan of just every aspect of that genre.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've been playing Final Fantasy, like the original runs of it, so I'm just been enjoying it a lot.
Carl, can I ask you a question? Sure. Actually,
yeah, go ahead.
Talking about RPGs, are you much for like say Shadow Hearts at all?
That's a game on my to-do list. A lot of the older RPGs I didn't play when I was a kid. I was a Pokemon or bust kind of person growing up, which is Babby's first RPG for a lot of people. But Pokemon is what you don't know me, Jeff, but I used to be sponsored to play the TCG for Pokemon.
Oh, cool.
So Pokemon is been a part of my life since day one. You know, I enjoy it a lot. I defend the video games and tell people, it's like, look, if you haven't played a game in 20 years, you're kind of wrong about some stuff, but it is what it is. But at the same time, it's just more so like there's other RPGs I've been quietly trying to get into. Suikoden has been one of them.
Okay.
I've heard stuff about that franchise, but I know nothing about it.
Sayua Journey to the West is another one that I've been trying to get into. Oh crap! Baten Kaito is one that I want to get into, but I'm intimidated by the whole card deck building RPG mechanics of that one.
Always wanted to try that one myself.
Yeah, I know that they ported them to the Switch and Steam recently, so
okay.
So that is to be considered, especially because they ported both the sequel. I mean, not the sequel, the original and the prequel. The Tales games. The problem about JRPGs, and I say this all the time, some of them get you right into the action, and others just take 17 years and to get you into the action. And there's certain ones that do it well, and then there's certain ones that do it badly. And to go with like some current examples, the Final Fantasy remakes, say what you want about them, they do a good job getting you right into the story and keeping you engaged and everything. Versus Final Fantasy 16, it's like walk 2 steps, 15-minute cutscene. Walk 3 steps, 4-hour cutscene. And then
Xenosaga, my old friend. I can have dinner with you again.
A Kojima game.
Exactly. And that's another one, like Xenosaga, Xenogears are on my to-do list. It seems just... I'm such an eclectic gamer too, as Neo will know. But it's I will get on a run where I'm just like, I gotta go through, beat all the games in this franchise, and then take some time off and decompress. It's like the Yakuza games. Like, I'll play all the Yakuza games, and then I need to decompress or something like that, you know?
So, I see Archie the Icky, man. How are you doing, man? Haven't seen you in a long time. Hope you're doing well in chat, saying listen while playing Arc Raiders. Very nice. Good to see you, buddy. And Idaho Mike said, I had an Xbox 360 that was hacked to play copied games. They cost about $2 each. So, yeah, I had a ton of games. Nice. I now have a legit PS5 for online play. Very, very nice.
No, that's awesome.
As for myself, so... I was looking at basically my whole collection of games and kind of figuring out which genre has the most in it. And so my answer is platformers, even though like basic platformers, I'm not a huge fan of just basic platformers, but I like them. But because kind of like Carl was saying with RPGs, platformers, there's just so many like subgenres, and that's where some of my favorite games are. So like, everyone knows me, like I think Mario is like one of the most overrated things ever. Not as bad. It's just like there's not really. I don't think that Mario games deserve to be held in such high regard as they are. And I also often say, like, if you had to pick, especially on Super Nintendo, which is when I started gaming, I had Super Mario World. That was the very first game I ever owned, but I'll take any of the Donkey Kong Country games over, basically any of the 2D Super Mario games. That was my basic platformer of choice with the Donkey Kong Country games. But the subgenres that really, really tie me in and made me solidify my choice as platformers as my choice for this one is because my favorite genre, most games in the Metroidvania genre are platformers. Not all of them, but most of them are. So that... I don't want to say Metroidvania because that's a much more niche genre. So as much as there are a lot of great Metroidvanias out there, I would be willing to forego some of them that aren't platformers to incorporate all the platformer genre as a whole and only play the Metroidvanias that are platformers because most of them are platformers. So that was kind of like my cheat code right there. The other type of subgenre of platformer that I'm a huge fan of are puzzle platformers. Let's see here. Do I... yeah, I won't mention that one because that one is the answer to my next question we'll get to in a few minutes. And I'll mention that when we get to it. But like some... I was just writing some down earlier today because I'm generating my list for the next episode, top 5, which is puzzle games, and there are some really good puzzle platformers out there. So let me see a couple that not a lot of people probably know about, but like Thomas Was Alone and Hue and Inside and Limbo. Those are all some really great puzzle platformers, and I love a good puzzle platformer. So those are just a couple of really good puzzle platformers. And so like I said, there are a lot of good just basic platformers out there, but because of some of these subgenres, puzzle platformers and Metroidvania specifically, that's why I chose platformers, even though the high level genre isn't my favorite, but some of the subgenres I absolutely love. So
yeah, I'm shocked you love platformers, but you never owned a PS2, huh?
Nope, I never owned any PlayStation platforms. So
man.
I never thought of PlayStation 2 as a platformer console. Are there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're talking about
Ratchet
3D platformers, Ratchet and Clank. I always wanted to play like Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter,
Sly Cooper.
I always wanted to play all those
Sly
games.
Cooper's so good, man.
Sly Cooper's great, and that's what I love, that you can play them on the PS5 and 4 right now. I'm
Yes.
happy that they did that.
Yeah,
I drove my wife crazy with Sly Cooper because of the. She hated that freaking sound when we were first starting dating. She's like, "Would you shut that off?" I'm like, it'd start to irritate her again.
Yeah.
So, because I wouldn't think of those PS2 as a platform, but you're talking about 3D platformms, not 2D platformers, and that's I didn't even bring up. There are a lot of great 3D platformers out there as well. So, but yeah, those three that you mentioned for PlayStation are all franchises I always wanted to play because I never owned a PlayStation. I never got to, but I do plan to play those at some point since basically all of the games and all those franchises have retro achievements. So I will go through and play those at some point, or maybe eventually I'll end up getting like a PS5 and I can play the the remastered collections. Or I'll have to look into that. I don't know which ones do and don't have remastered collections, but that's something I do plan to play all those franchises at some point in some way. And when I get around to that, I will ask, hey, what's the best way to play this franchise? Another one of those is God of War, because I love hack and slashes. So I've never played any of the Gods of War. So when I get to that point, I'll be like, what's the best way to play the God of War games?
That's my sweet spot right there.
Oh, God of War. I hated number 1 at the end. That stupid pillar of spikes and death.
Oh, I've seen the video of that, but I haven't played it, obviously.
I hate it so much only because if you just touch it one time by accident, and it's just like you fall to your oblivion.
It took freaking forever to get through that thing.
That one
Once you've done it a couple times, it's like it's not so bad. Especially on the speed run.
Yeah, when you know what you're doing, everything is a lot better. But it was like, oh damn.
Yeah, that first time through was just like, oh my god, I'm dead again.
Or the stupid puzzle where you had to kick a box correctly, and if it just happened to clip the wall just ever so slightly, or you rolled a little bit too quickly, and it's just like, well, I might as well just die.
We got to kick and then do the back roll and then jump backwards.
Yeah.
And then,
And the problem is Kratos, like he's majestic when he's killing things, but he cannot be majestic when he's just platforming across stuff.
Seriously.
The weakness of the Spartans, platforming and the balancing beam. There you go.
Yeah, oh my god, balancing beam stuff.
I hated that so much. God of War 2, great game. God of War 1, great game. God of War 3, amazing game. 2018, really great, loved it. Ragnarok did not like it so much, but
Yeah, that spinning spike tower that you mentioned on the first one. I've seen that mentioned in a number of like top 10 videos of like some of the most frustrating segments in popular games.
Oh, I was having an aneurysm. I was giving birth to kittens, let me tell you.
I totally get that. So,
Good choice on platformers, though. I'm a big platformer fan too. That would have been my follow-up if I had a second choice.
Yeah,
I like platformers.
The other two that I was considering was first-person shooters and then RPGs, but it's like those genres are too narrow. I want a little bit more variety. Even though some of my one of my favorite games of all time in my top 5 is Doom Eternal, is my favorite shooter, and that game is fantastic. There's a lot of first-person shooters I absolutely love, but there's just not enough distinguishes between them that really. There's not really enough like I said. There's a lot of subgenres of like platformers. Not really a whole lot of subgenres of first-person shooters. They all mainly play the same with some different elements.
Unless it's a walking simulator.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I was like, first-person shooters. I do love a lot of first-person shooters, but it's a little bit too much of the same all in genre. There's not a lot of variety in it. So that's why I went with platformers. And then with RPGs, there's some RPGs I absolutely love. There's just not enough of them because I'm very picky on my RPGs. So
we're gonna try to get him into a weeb status.
Even though I haven't started, I didn't put it on my tag yet, but I did buy it because of Carl, and I will play it eventually. I just don't know when. Is Blue Dragon? So I do have that because of him, because that's one that he challenged me to in our video game challenge last year. I just didn't get around to it.
No, yeah, I still gotta beat that game. I'm on the last boss because I'm getting big brothered hard right now on that last one. Another fun thing about JRPGs, it's like, oh, I'm botting everyone. I know what I'm doing. Final boss. It's my turn on the Xbox. That's what they do.
Like, get out of here, kid.
Yeah, I'm just like, what happened here? I was just God, and now I'm getting destroyed.
I thought that with Final Fantasy X back in the day. I'm like, oh, I got this. 5 weeks later, okay, I finally got here. Oh, Jesus.
I had that. Sorry, go on. Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, not quite to that extent, but my most recent experience with that is I recently played through Metroid 2 again a couple weeks ago, because there was one achievement left I needed for beating the game in under 3 hours. And just like when I played it for the first time about this time last year, I went through the whole game basically without dying. But then the final boss is that in Metroid 2 is just like so much harder than anything else in that game.
Yeah, no, I had that just recently with Chaos at the end of Final Fantasy. The Pixel remaster, asshole. The best way to say it.
Oh, the original one.
Yeah, okay. I was very upset, and I'll explain more tomorrow.
All right. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and move on to our next topic for tonight, and the reason why I came up with this topic is because of the game I mentioned earlier that I've been playing recently, Origami. And it inspired this question of, this game doesn't exactly fall into this, but it's close enough. It's not my answer to this topic, though, but it gave me the idea for your favorite game where you play as the bad guy, because in Origami, you think you're the good guy at the end of the spoiler alert for anyone who ends up playing it. You think you're the good guy. You technically are a good guy, but you're working for the bad guy and you don't realize it until the end. And then at the very end of the game, you realize that the person you're working for essentially is the bad guy. And so you fight them. So technically you're not the bad guy, but you're fulfilling the bad guy's wishes essentially without unwittingly. But so that gave me the idea for your favorite game where you play as the bad guy, because there's not a whole lot of games out there where you play as the bad guy. But curious from you guys. I'll go ahead and start this one off because I did allude to it a minute ago when I was talking about puzzle platformers. And I do have two answers for this one, but the one that popped into my head first when I thought about the topic for this is one of my favorite puzzle platformers ever is Braid. Which has another great plot twist at the end where you think you're like Mario, you're there to rescue the princess, and then you find out, whoop, they flip things on its head, and all of a sudden you realize you're the bad guy and she's trying to escape from you, and you've been the bad guy all along. So if you haven't played Braid, even if you know the plot twist, it's still a fantastic game. I just recently replayed it as well a couple weeks ago for the Braid remaster, the anniversary edition, and that is a wonderful game, and I love that game so much. So that is probably my number one, but it could be interchangeable with my other one. But that's the first thing that popped into my head where you play as the bad guy. It's very unwittingly, though, is Braid. So I have one more to mention, but I'll let you guys go. So, Carl, do you have a favorite game where you play as a bad guy?
Yes, and it also has a very popular and good song from, I believe, the 80s by good old Hall & Oates, Man-Eater.
Oh, okay. I played that.
Nope.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite games. Came out in May 22nd of 2020, which ironically enough is my birthday. So it was a birthday game for me, and I fell in love with this game of just playing as this little baby bull shark and just basically evolving it into a megalodon with the little fun side story of you're trying to kill this shark fisherman who killed your mother shark. But it's such a wacky, it's a goofy, fun, very simplistic game. Technically you're not the bad guy, but technically you are the bad guy too, because you're a shark and you're eating people and just dominating your way up the ecosystem. And it's just a very fun, relaxing, kind of just goofy, not serious game whatsoever.
You go flopping around the beach to try, because some of the missions are you have to eat enough people on the beach. You go flopping around and try to chomp on them before you like run out of air, essentially.
Yeah, and the reason why I also like that too, because this actually feels like a spiritual successor to another original PS2 and original Xbox game, Jaws Unleashed, where you actually do play as the shark from Jaws.
Oh, I did not know that game even existed.
Yeah,
neither.
I think I've mentioned it a few times. But if
you have mentioned it, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's one of those very few early. Not really early, but that mid-generation like license game when everything was getting a license game or a crazy sequel in video game form. Jaws Unleashed was basically that. You could just play as Jaws, the shark, and just jump on the beaches and eat people and stuff like that. And that's what I feel like Maneater took a lot of inspiration was from that game, and they made it a much more refined and a vastly better game.
Okay.
Yeah, I played Maneater because it was on Game Pass. It's not it was on Game Pass and then it left Game Pass and then it came back to Game Pass and it has since left Game Pass again, but I played it while it was on Game Pass. Did you play the DLC for it?
I have not played the DLC for it yet.
Okay.
I got
it gets even more wacky.
I want to do it for the Xbox because I don't have all the achievements for it there. I got the double platinum trophy for it.
Okay.
So I was waiting once I saw the DLC got announced that I wanted to redo it eventually. I think I own it. I'm not 100% sure because I buy a bunch of DLC and stuff and I forget about it.
Yeah, because in the DLC you get like because like their tagline for the game was the Shark PG. It's not really much of an RPG, but you do get upgrades and you can like you do have basically like not even stat points, but you like upgrade your like your dorsal fin and your skin like thickness so you can like take more damage.
Yeah.
So it's kind of RPG-esque like that, but in the DLC you get like sharks with freaking laser beams. And I'm not joking either. It's like they're like, hey, you know what we should do? That joke from Austin Powers, we should put that in the game. So you get like, it's been a while since I played it, but I know you get like laser beams. I think you get like missiles or torpedoes. So it just gets like super crazy and wacky.
Yeah, like
that was a fun game.
Like some of those bosses in the game like are a giant sperm whale, killer whales, and stuff like that. You gotta fight law enforcement in their little boats. You attack people on the little flamingo boats and stuff. It is one of like a fun topic, top 5 stress reliever games. That is
write it down.
One of those games where you just sit down, like you're having a bad day, your boss is being a prick, and you're like, I can't legally, do anything to people like this.
I want to kill something.
But I could be a shark, and I can attack people and eat them as a shark. So there you go. And it is satisfying to just when you finally defeat a boss, is just seeing your shark consume and eat it. So that's kind of cool as well. It's like I said, it's just there's something satisfying about it. There's just those games where you don't have to really think too hard when you play them. It's just I'm here to just do the game part of a video game for once here. Just don't care anything else like that. It's like when one of my buddies, thankfully he's not a serial killer, but whenever he was having a bad day, he would play Grand Theft Auto and just drive down the sidewalk in a car and shoot a gun like at the pedestrians at the same time. And I'm like, I am so thankful that this is where you relieve your stress.
I never did that in GTA, but I did do that in Crackdown. But yeah, Maneater as Jake Baldino, this would be like a perfect example of what he calls a video game.
Yeah.
So I do remember that the boss of the DLC was pretty difficult. It took me quite a number of tries to beat that one, but that's definitely a good pick, Maneater.
Yes. So. Also a good song by Hall & Oates.
Okay. Oh, I forgot you mentioned that, and there's no tie to it, right? I don't remember.
No, it's just
I don't think that song was in the game.
I wish it was. That would have been much better.
So, all right, Jeff. What about you? Do you got a favorite game where you play as the bad guy?
Yeah, I'm probably totally predictable since I'm a big horror fan, but Friday the 13th, the game.
Okay.
And I don't mean the NES version.
Oh,
I mean the Ilphonic one.
Ilphonic. What? I don't even know what that is.
That was the 3D one that came out a few years ago.
It's like the Dead by Daylight type of games, the 1 versus like 5.
The asymmetrical multiplayer.
Yep. Where you could play as Jason, or you could play any number of like about 5 to 6 camp counselors. And
Okay, so this is a more recent game, right?
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, because you said there is what you said, an NES version of a Friday the 13th.
oh,
Yeah.
that is way old school. And
That is, I think we did that joke of like good endings with the video game nerd. It's like you and your friends are dead, and it became a running meme about that.
Oh, that's from that game? Okay.
Yeah.
I know of that. Yeah, it's like you and your friends are dead, and that became a meme. So that was from the NES version of Friday the 13th. What do we got there?
There you go. The NECA toy one.
What is... Oh, it's a... Okay, I thought it was
from the video game.
Yep.
It's a figure from the video game. Oh, there it is. You and your friends are dead. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. It's on the inside flap.
That's awesome. I wanted to buy that. I wish I would have. But no, that's still a good one. The one thing I will say about this, my favorite thing about the Friday the 13th game was everyone did the stupid mods where everyone was just running around in Speedos, and they started doing the Katy Perry California Girls dance in front of him all the time. It just lives rent free in my head, just seeing all, just this California Girls dance around Jason Voorhees just all the time.
I always had fun with it. I mean, a lot of people got annoyed by like the lack of support, the servers going down, trouble with matches, but I always had a group of friends. We'd always do private lobbies. You could do some stuff solo. You could screw around. You could just have fun. And once you got rid of all the 4-year-olds who thought they were all OG dropping F-bombs and slurs like it was a COD lobby, it's like, it was fun. I mean, you just turn on mute if you didn't want to listen to it.
Yeah, because there's all those other games too, like the Chainsaw Massacre game I wanted to play, or they're coming out later this year with Halloween.
Halloween.
Yeah.
I got this one instead. It's my it's like the 8-bit or 16-bit one.
Yeah, I bought that on sale recently too, but I also got the Steelbook copy of the Texas Chainsaw game as well, and
that's one I want to try.
That one came with actually the a 4K Blu-ray of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre too.
Yes,
and that's what I like.
Okay. See, I just had a thing jog my memory while you're talking about it. Now, the one you're talking about, is that the one where basically the server shut down a year or so ago?
Yes, and there is a workaround on that, but you have to. It's not exactly kosher.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I remember I had some achievement buddies that were trying to get me to boost it with them before the server shut down. I'm like, I'm not interested.
Was this close to my platinum. I had 13 games left to go, and when they took down the official servers, it won't click over for my trophies.
Did you?
And that's the 1,313 kills.
So did you I've had that happen where a game gets shut down. Usually they announce that it's going to be shut down, so you need to work on getting this done. Sometimes they don't.
That's when I started to move my butt, and I'm like, oh god.
So I've had a couple games where they shut it down basically with zero warning, so I'll never be able to get some of those achievements. But then there's other ones that they gave us plenty of warning. I was able to get taken care of before they got shut down. Most recently, Anthem. What was it that prevented you from getting that platinum? Did you just not give yourself enough time, or did you forget?
I waited way too freaking long.
Okay.
I should have been more on top of it. I blame myself, but it's like, it's not that big of a deal. I know I would have gotten it anyway. The only other multiplayer game that I'm not big on multiplayer games was one of the God of War ones. Was it 3 or was it Awakening, where you had to complete some sort of multiplayer thing? Which one?
Origins.
Yeah. I that's the only trophy I cannot get because they shut that down, and you cannot even go back and get. You can get every other trophy, but you can't go back because they shut down the servers on that thing. And I'm furious to this day. Like, I never knew they were shutting that down. Nobody knew about that.
Yeah.
It sucks that they shut them down like typically
Ascension. You're right. You're right.
Ah,
Dude,
dude.
Ascension.
Hey, what's up, dudes?
Yeah, I
over on
forgot,
Rumble
yeah.
saying God of War Ascension. Okay.
That's it.
But yeah, it's frustrating when they shut down the servers, especially when there's achievements tied to or trophies tied to it as well. It's nice though when they at least give you a heads up, like, hey, it's going to happen in 6 months or a year from now. Really sucks when there's like no announcement, just overnight it's just shut down. So that really sucks. So thank you for that, dude, letting us know it's God of War Ascension that he was thinking of.
Ascension also had a trophy change.
Hmm.
I think I've said that a few times, but do you remember what it was, Neo?
I haven't played it, so I have no idea.
Nah, I've said it on the show before, but
no, I don't remember.
They had a trophy called Bros Before Hoes. And
I do remember you mentioning
there you
that.
go. Now you got it.
I don't remember what the gist of it was, but I do remember you mentioning that.
Yeah, a games journalist got outraged to the point where they actually changed the name of the trophy.
They just changed the name of it. They didn't change the actual requirements.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember that. I
so
know I got that
weak.
trophy too.
It's like, oh, this is offensive. We need to change the title.
Good old Adam Sessler.
Oh my god.
That guy.
I never liked that guy.
I was a Morgan Webb guy, not Adam Sessler.
Most guys are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And dude says Bros for Hose was named by a woman on the team as well. Oh.
Yeah.
So you're sexist because you want to change the woman's achievement or trophy name. How dare you?
Good old San Francisco.
I just would have left it hang 'em and bang 'em. Bang 'em and hang 'em.
So the other one that I am a big fan of, and I haven't played it in a long time. I still have like 2 achievements left for beating it on hard and getting all the platinum medals in game, and absolutely qualifies for this topic and was a lot of fun. Is another one of my favorite sandbox games. That is Prototype. That game was so much fun. I love that game, just wreaking havoc with your mutant powers, essentially. The game is so much fun. So I haven't played the second one, but I do own I don't even know if you call it a remastered collection, but I bought because they're Prototype is another one of those games where they didn't make it backwards compatible on Xbox because they wanted to resell the Xbox One version. So I eventually picked up the Xbox One bundle of Prototypes 1 and 2 for like $10 or something, like a year or so ago. So I will be playing 1 again, and then I'll be playing 2 for the first time eventually. But I had a lot of fun just destroying New York in Prototype. That was a lot of fun. So that was a great game that would absolutely qualify for this topic.
Never played the second one myself, but the first one, brilliant game. I played that like 5 times before I finally got sick of playing it.
The 2, so I still have, there's an achievement for getting platinum medals on all the challenges, and I have probably like 80% of them, but some of them are just
that's
like
where I
super
tapped
difficult.
out was the challenges.
I do plan to wrap up the rest of the 10 or so that I need to get that achievement. I just don't know when I'll get back to it. And then the other one is I need to just go through the game and beat it on hard. I never did it on hard mode, so that one shouldn't be that difficult.
No.
But I am looking forward to playing through it again on the Xbox One version and then playing through Prototype 2 for the first time, which I've heard isn't as good, but if it's just more of the same, then I'm sure it'll be an enjoyable game. So, and we also got Nightmare joining us in chat. Good evening, Nightmare. Hope you're doing well tonight, buddy. So, all right. So, next topic on the agenda is, all right. So I don't remember what jogged, not even my memory, but kind of inspired this question for me. But the next topic for tonight is, what is your favorite game in a franchise, but you don't consider that game to be the best in the franchise? I'll go ahead and start this one off as well, because for anyone who may have questions about it. So my favorite Super Nintendo games of all time are the Mega Man X games, Mega Man X 1, 2, and 3. Of those 3, I think Mega Man X is the best game, but my favorite is Mega Man X3. There are some issues with X3 that I think make it a not as good game as Mega Man X, but I still prefer it to Mega Man X. So my favorite is Mega Man X3, but I don't think it's the best in that series of, or even just all of the Mega Man X games in general. But my favorite is X3, but I think the best Mega Man X game is Mega Man X1. So that is my answer for this topic. Curious from you guys if you have a game that you like the best in a franchise, but you don't consider that game to be the best in the franchise. So, Jeff, do you have a game that kind of fits into that?
I do, and I'm probably going to incur some wrath from people.
Uh-oh.
Castlevania.
Castlevania.
I like
okay.
Lament of Innocence on the PlayStation 2, the first 3D version, but Symphony is the best one, in my opinion.
Okay, so you think Symphony is the best, but your favorite is Lament of Innocence. Is that one of the ones? Because
It's what got me into Castlevania to begin with. So I can't help it. I enjoy it. I like it. I beat the game like 3 times over. I even got the secret boss in battle.
Is that one that most people consider to not be a good Castlevania game? Because I don't know much about Castlevania. Because I've
a little bit on the divisive side from what I remember. I haven't dipped in except for when I got the HD collections recently, and I'm like, I gotta play this through again. And I'm like, crap, I don't remember Symphony of the Night very well.
Because before last year, the only Castlevanias I had played was I played Symphony of the Night, the Xbox Live Arcade version, because I'm a huge Metroidvania fan. Everyone's like, oh, it's one of the best games ever. It's good. I think that's another game that's overrated. Not bad. I just don't think it deserves as much praise as it gets. And then the other one that got me into the franchise, but most people don't even consider Castlevania, is Castlevania Lords of Shadow, because it's not really even a Castlevania game. It's a hack and slash. And that's why I played it.
But it's God of War in Castlevania.
Exactly. So I love hack and slash games, which is why I was interested in it. Yeah. I played Lords of Shadow way back when it came out on 360. I didn't actually play the interim game, Mirror of Fate, and Lords of Shadow 2 until about this time last year was the first time I played both of those. And Lord of Shadow 2 was, I didn't hear anything good about it. So that's why I waited on it for so long. And then I played it and I was like, that was actually much better than I was expecting. And it also helped that it's, I never heard anyone consider it this, but it absolutely qualifies as a Metroidvania because you get abilities that allow you to reach areas you couldn't before. So I was like, why did anyone never tell me this is a Metroidvania? So I enjoyed Lord of Shadow 2 much more than I expected. But those are the only Castlevania games I've played, although I do have like the Anniversary Collection, which is all the classic ones. So I'll be playing those at some point. I also have the Advanced Collection, which is all the Game Boy Advance games. I don't have the Dominus Collection, which is the DS games, but I plan to get that one at some point as well. So I've got a lot of Castlevania to go. Our good buddy Angry Canadian has become a really big fan of Castlevania, and he's with me. He when it comes to Symphony of the Night, he thinks it's similar, that it's good, but not as good as everyone says it is. But I'll have to ask him next time what he thinks about Lament of Innocence. Is that right?
Yep. And I need to go through the rest of the universe. I have like the collection. I have the physical collection up here, and then I also have it digitally on my PlayStation. I need to play some of the other ones like Castlevania 4 and 3 because I never played them as a kid. And I'm finally going back through, and I'm in between doing these because they take a lot out of my time and efforts, but I enjoy them all. So maybe I'll change my tune, but based on what I think, I could go through other franchises and do the same thing. But this was the one that came to my mind that I thought would provide an interesting conversation and, throw some wrath my way. That's fine.
Yeah, because everyone holds Symphony of the Night in such high regard. So I can totally understand that. While we're on the topic of the older 2D Castlevanias, I played the first one once, and I still have like 3 or 4 more playthroughs to go, and then I haven't played the second one. But if you're a fan of classic Castlevania, basically the spiritual successor to that is Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. Have you played either of those ones? Or Circle of the Moon. It's one of the two. I can never keep all the names are so similar.
But I have both of them ready to go on my PS4, actually.
Okay. I like I said, I've beaten the first one once, but you have to play through it like 4 or 5 times to get all the different endings. So I've still got a bunch of playthroughs left, and I have the second one, but I haven't played it yet. It's a short game though. I started playing it, and I was only going to do like one level, and then I ended up beating the whole game in it was like a couple of hours. It's pretty short, so multiple playthroughs isn't a really big deal. But if you like classic Castlevania and you haven't played Bloodstained Curse of the Moon, I'm pretty sure it's Curse of the Moon. You'll probably like those games as well.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm definitely more interested in playing the Metroidvania Castlevanias. Yeah. So the Game Boy Advance and the DS versions, but I will be going through
those. I need to get to.
Yeah, I'll be playing through basically all the Castlevanias for the most part at some point. So
that's why I like watching most of your streams when you do those. It's like, when you're doing Castlevania, I'm like all in.
All right. So dude says Castlevania 64 is the first 3D Castlevania. I've not heard anything good about that game.
I have not either.
And Nightmare says he loves Lords of Shadow, especially too. Okay, so another thing that we got in common, we're fans
Maybe I
of
need to
Lords of
try
Shadow too.
Lords of Shadow too then.
So yeah, if you like the hack and slash genre and you like Castlevania, you'll probably like the Lords of Shadow games.
Yeah, they're kind of a God of War clone.
Yeah, the interim one though, Mirror of Fate, that was I never remember whether it was a DS or a 3DS. I want to say it was a 3DS game and a PS Vita game.
It was a 3DS.
3DS, thank you. And it's been ported to a lot of other stuff. So I played the Xbox Live Arcade version, but that's a 2D Metroidvania, not actually a hack and slash like the Lord of Shadow 1 and 2 are. So let's see here. Well, we were on. Oh yeah, favorite game that's not the best in the franchise. So, what about you, Carl? You got a game that you like you like the most, but don't consider it the best in the franchise?
Personally, I consider this game the best in the franchise, but everyone does not seem to have favorable opinions of it, and it comes from a series that I do not like at all, and that is Far Cry Primal.
Oh, okay. I know how much you love I bought Far Cry Primal because of you. I haven't played it yet, but I will.
Yeah, it just got a 60 FPS patch too, which I think is funny.
Ooh.
Yes.
But,
yeah. Go ahead. Tell us a little bit more about that.
I like the idea of the Far Cry games, but I do not like their shooting mechanics at all. I think their gunplay is too loose, and I do think getting to point A and point B of the stories are very hard and not super fun, because I just find the gameplay to not be as good as many other shooters out there in the genres. But Far Cry Primal does something very unique and interesting, where you play as a caveman and don't have guns. So everything in that game just feels a lot better. You're fighting people with spears, clubs, basic bow and arrow, beehive, little fire bombs and stuff like that. They put a lot of work into this game too, by making them have their own language and everything like that too, and kept a lot of the same Far Cry formulaic wackiness and stories and the taming of the animals and stuff. You could tame saber-toothed tigers and ride around on a saber-toothed tiger throwing spears at everyone and stuff like that. It's just a fun game, and it captures everything that is fun about the Far Cry storyline, the over-the-top wackiness, but puts it into more of a fun, I guess you could say, interesting setting. I think one of the biggest knocks on it was they reused the map of Far Cry 4.
I was just going to ask you that. It's like, I think you reuse a map from one of the other games. I thought it was Far Cry 3, but I haven't played any of them, so I don't know.
Like I said, I'm not a huge Far Cry fan, so my lore of it is limited. I just remember Colin Moriarty. He was really hammering the drum on this game, and I was like, okay, I'll check it out, because it goes on sale for like $5, like every 3 months or something.
It's a Ubisoft game, so it goes on sale a lot.
Yeah, so I bought it on PlayStation, and I started playing it on there, and I just really like the storyline. They put a lot of work into making their own cave people languages. They have, Neanderthals. You actually get into giant turf battles with Neanderthals and other Homo sapiens and stuff like that. They have the wackiness of the the Far Cry games. They kind of work a lot better in this prehistoric setting, because you get like this crazy shaman guy who's just going like "Ooh-la, and then he's forcing you to drink piss and blood from a skull, and then you go on this wild spirit journey where you become a woolly mammoth and stuff like that. So it's just fun. Like, the mechanics feel tight, the controls feel tight, the animals you fight are unique and interesting, and there's not many games that you can look to where you could play as a caveman.
True.
And I could probably name one other game where you can do that, and that's Live Alive, and that's only for a brief portion of the game. And there was another game that Peter Molyneux was trying to make called Mankind and stuff, or something like that, Humankind. I forget the name of it. And like that one got canceled because Peter Molyneux is a hack, but neither here nor there. But yeah, it's just fun. It fits perfectly. It's fun to build your little caveman village and everything else like that. So yeah, Far Cry Primal. Everyone should play it. And like I said, just got a 60 FPS patch. It's goes on sale quite a lot.
Yeah, there's a few Ubisoft games that just recently got a 60 FPS patch. So I remember seeing a list. I don't remember what all they were, but I remember seeing that one. I'm like, oh, that's perfect because I haven't played it yet, but I'm going to. Yeah, like the only Far Cry game I played was Blood Dragon. I played the Xbox Live Arcade version. That was a lot of fun. And I picked up the Xbox One version, so I'll be playing that again. I played that, 10 plus years ago. So it'll basically, when I do end up getting to play it again, it'll basically be like a first playthrough. I do remember that one of the great things about it was the main character, I forget his name, is Rex something. He was voiced by Michael Biehn. That was awesome.
Oh, that's great.
So I'll be playing through Blood Dragon again at some point, and then I picked up Far Cry Primal, so I'll be playing that for the first time. And then I also picked up the Far Cry 3 Classic Edition. I forget. I think Far Cry 3 originally had like a multiplayer mode, but this version stripped that out because that's one of the reasons I was interested in it, so I can get 100% without having to worry about playing any online multiplayer or anything.
Yeah.
So, I'll be playing all three of those at some point, and that'll be like my first real introduction to a Far Cry game.
Yeah, everyone says 3 is like the best one from our consensus.
That's what I hear online as well, which is why I went ahead and picked it up. So, all right. Idaho Mike says he had fun with the Far Cry series. And Retribution Zero, hello, welcome. I have not seen you before, but good to see you. Says Batman Arkham Asylum is his favorite, but City is the best.
Oh yeah,
that City, could go either way. Personally, for me, I think City is the best, and that one is my favorite. But Arkham Asylum and Arkham Knight are both fantastic games. I also always have to shout out Arkham Origins because it gets a lot of flack, but I think it's a great game as well. And
it's a little too short, is my opinion on Origins.
I think it deserves, some more recognition than it gets because it was kind of the black sheep of that series due to the fact it was, wasn't done by Rocksteady, but I had a lot of fun with it. So, but as Carl was talking, I just thought of another thing that kind of fits because he's. For his answer was a slightly modified version of what the question was. But to go along with what he was saying, a similar one where another one where my favorite is not what most people consider the best in the franchise is the Donkey Kong Country games. As I mentioned earlier, most people consider Donkey Kong Country 2 the best one in the series, and a lot of people consider it like one of the best platformers of all time. Donkey Kong Country 2 is my least favorite of those three. My favorite is Donkey Kong Country 3. So I consider Donkey Kong Country 3 to be the best of the three and also my favorite, so it wouldn't qualify. But if you slightly change the question to what most people consider to be the best, then that one would be for me because Donkey Kong Country 3 I think is the best and my favorite. But most people consider Donkey Kong Country 2 to be the best. And that's actually my least favorite of the three. So, but hey, Nerd Takes is here saying, what's up, everyone? Good evening, Jay. Good to see you again. Buddy? Saw him show up for a little bit in Metroidvania Monday last night. Hope you're doing good this evening. And Nightmare says, I can't pick a single Arkham game, but Origins is the worst. That's because Arkham Knight also gets a lot of flack, but it's still a good game.
I like that one.
I like it a lot too, but
I never platted any of them though. But
it's a lot of work.
I can't chain the combos in Asylum, and I still need to go through Nightmare mode on City.
Oh, yeah, it's tricky, but given that the mainline Arkham games are so good, it's kind of hard to live up to that. So I can't argue with that. So
yeah, I mean Origins is good as a prequel kind of game.
Yeah,
you get that feeling. It is a nice, interesting view of a younger Bruce Wayne that's more unknown, which I do commend them for doing.
Yeah.
So. All right. Anybody have any other thoughts for games that are their favorite that aren't necessarily the best in the franchise?
My wife was mentioning one of the things that she's a big Zelda person. I've never played any Zelda game, period, except for the first one. But she's a big fan of Majora's Mask.
Okay.
That's her favorite, and I believe she said Ocarina is probably the best game.
Ocarina is my favorite, and also what I consider the best. I love Majora's Mask, but Majora's Mask does get a lot of hate from people because of the time limit.
I have one more. I guess I kind of go with.
All right.
This one's kind of on the fence because it isn't technically considered the worst one by fans. That one would be the second one. But Devil May Cry 4 also was another one of those games that I feel like fans are kind of hit or miss on. I personally really do enjoy Devil May Cry 4 a lot. It has a special place in my heart, too. It's probably my favorite one, only because I really like Dante and Nero as like a combination. And I like that storyline a lot, even though, as I said to you, Neo, Ninja Gaiden 4 reminds me a little bit of Devil May Cry 4 in so many ways as well.
I haven't played any of them, but I totally understand, because that's another franchise that I know I would love if I ever end up playing it. It's just,
Good games.
it's so difficult. I'll probably play them eventually. I just don't know when. But I know that DMC 2 gets a lot of hate, and then also
I don't like that one much.
2015, I think it was. That's the one.
Yeah, the remake.
But I've heard that one has
since you
great
said that one,
gameplay.
that's another one I'll go with. I actually did enjoy DMC.
I've heard that DMC Devil May Cry, like, it has great gameplay, but people hate it for the story.
Yeah.
That's just what I've heard.
I thought it was just kind of cheesy, but it was funny enough to me. I thought it had enough of the spirit of Devil May Cry. If it had a different name, I think it would have been received a lot better.
Okay. That makes sense.
And plus, like you said, the gameplay was actually really solid, especially the definitive edition that came out much later on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One.
And I believe that one was done by Ninja Theory, right?
Yes, it was. They were the lead game developer for combat and stuff.
Okay. All right. So, next topic on the agenda for tonight. This is a bit of a broad topic, so it'll be interesting to hear what your thoughts are on this one. But I had one game in mind for this. I just kind of wanted to talk about this game, so I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and throw that on the agenda for tonight. So, what is the most over-the-top game you've ever played? And that, like I said, it's very broad, so it could mean almost anything for you. But curious from you guys what you consider to be like the most over-the-top game you've played.
Man, there's a lot of games that fit that category for me. I sent you one so you can visually see this one. We'll start off with this one. It's called Ace of Seafood.
I've never heard of that.
Exactly. So I think people need to understand what this game is. It's a shoot 'em up.
Oh,
by the way,
shmup. Well, we were talking about that earlier.
Ooh.
All right. Let me.
If you want to bring that up, Neo, for people to see what this game is.
All right. Share audio. And let's see here. Is that on my end, or are you guys seeing it super choppy too?
Yeah, it's super
choppy.
Shoot.
Well, there's echo.
Oh, is it still echoing?
Yeah.
All right. Well.
But yeah, you basically play as sea animal.
Is it still echoing?
Yeah, it's still echoing.
Carl's listening to me.
Shoot. I'll put the link. Turn off. No. There's so much lag. I'll put the link in the stream description so anyone can go check that out. But
can
I see a little bit of it?
Can I share it on my screen over here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Here, I think I clicked the share screen.
Let's see. Let me get rid of mine so I don't get it confused with yours. All right, let's try this again.
Let's try this again. Here we go. But
Better.
Oh, much better.
You just play a sea creature in the giant sea.
Will you subjugate the white coral reefs, or conquer the darkness of the deep sea? Glistening fish scale, or paralyzed crab shell, which will litter the ocean floor in the aftermath? The memory of the human race lingers. The military plastic model rework. Uncover the arcane secret of the deep. becomes a sapling who loves the seeds. Can you become the ace of seafood?
But yeah, you have hundreds and hundreds of little marine animals that you can choose from, like seals, crabs, lobsters, octopus, and they just shoot crazy beams everywhere and stuff like that. It is one of the most bizarre and insane games I ever played, and definitely is one of those games that's just like I don't know how to describe this, people. You just have to see the madness that happens in this game. Keeping with the theme of seafood-based combat, Crab Fight is another one that was also kind of over the top with those janky mechanics of just giant crabs of all different types that fight with weapons and swords and stuff. It's basically a fighting game.
I think I've seen that game.
So that's another one. Two other games that I find really interesting. I've been hammering home about this one for a while. You know this one, Neo. But from Black Tabby Games, they made a Scarlet Hollow and Slay the Princess. One of the better, well-written visual novel games I've probably ever played, especially Scarlet Hollow, which I played that on stream recently, and that game is really damn good.
I don't know much about Scarlet Hollow, but I do know that you're a big fan of Slay the Princess.
Yeah, but Scarlet Hollow is their other game where it's technically still in early access, but there's so many levels of choice and things you can do in that game. Some of them are just like wildly over the top. At the beginning of the game, they let you pick 2 special abilities, and the 2 ones I picked were like you have a psychic sense about you, so you can like sense danger and stuff like that, and you can also talk to animals. So there's a lot of weird stuff that is going on in this game where the animals are being taken over and possessed by something, and you can hear the animals basically have their own cult kind of deal going on. And only you as a character can hear them. And if you didn't have that ability, you wouldn't be able to access that part of the game too. So I think that's pretty cool and interesting. Obviously, other games like Katamari Damacy, one of those other crazy, just random Japanese games where you make a giant ball and turn people into stars and stuff like that. It's just yes. There's just so many wacky ones out there. Catherine is one that I constantly stand by and say everyone should play Catherine. If you haven't played Catherine, please do so, because that game is insane. It's a puzzler, platformer kind of deal with elements of bonding and stuff, and the ending is just so wild and wacky that I always say this, never ran into another game like it that to this very day.
Yeah, because Catherine's Atlas, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do some. They've got quite a wide variety of types of games that they do.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really stick to like one style.
Yeah.
I actually gifted Catherine to one of my cousins for Christmas years ago.
Nice.
On the Xbox.
That's a good one.
And my roommate back in the day, he was a big fan of that game too.
I have one more game that's kind of wacky and weird, and that is Under the Skin. I don't know if you guys heard about that one.
Not.
No.
All right, so this one is a Capcom.
It sounds gross just based on the name.
No, it's not. It's not actually.
Okay.
It's a game where you play as an alien, and this is what it is.
So it's a goofy game?
Yeah, it's a little goofy game from Capcom back in the good old PS2 days, and as you can see,
Is that Nemesis?
yeah, they put Jill and Nemesis.
Oh my.
Oh, it's
God.
Capcom. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So what is the premise of this game?
You play as an alien, just here to cause humans grief, and you take their forms and stuff like that. You play pranks on them and stuff. It's very over the top. It's a much, I'd say the best way to say is destroy all humans, but less violence.
Okay, I was just gonna ask, like, is it like Destroy All Humans at all?
Kinda. It's more Japanese take on it.
Yeah,
And
it
a little bit
definitely
more
looks
fun.
like it. So, and Under the Skin also has retro achievements. All right.
Yeah, It also has 2-player co-op as well, so it could be a fun
Oh,
little
fun.
game to play with you and a buddy or something as well. But I could go on forever with a list. Like I said, Maneater could be perfectly on here. Jaws
Yeah.
Unleashed. One game that I never played back in the day, but I remember seeing a review for it on XPlay was the Playboy Mansion
Oh.
Sim clone from the PS2 and the Xbox days.
I remember this.
So that game is still wild to think about. That Playboy, back in the day, got so big that they decided to make a Sims clone where you could play as virtual Hugh Hefner and have your own
Yep.
Playboy Mansion.
Okay, I knew that a Playboy game existed, but I knew nothing about it, so I didn't realize it was a Sims clone. That actually kind of makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, like I said, I could go on for hours. Games like if you want to look at a really over the top game that's a very good product of its time, it's called Total Overdose, where it was kind of like a more over the top version of Max Payne with a lot more Mexican stereotypes. That's the best way to put it.
Total overdose.
Yeah,
Okay.
Total Overdose. I know it's on GOG, and it goes on sale quite often. Oh,
Uh-oh. That was
he's
weird.
like, I heard Mexican stereotypes. I'm out.
He disappeared and then immediately was back. That was weird. But I didn't do anything, I swear.
I'm just sitting here.
Yeah, but like I said, I could keep going on and on, but I don't want to take up so much more time. But yeah, that's a good list of games right there, like
That is a
7
good
or
list
10 of them.
games. I probably could have added more to the list, but I had one immediately popped in my head, and I was like, "That's a good one." So, we'll go ahead and hear from Jeff first. So, Jeff, what's the most over the top game that you've played?
Well, he mentioned one of them. I actually made a little bit of a list.
Okay.
And okay, so I would start with Rumble Roses,
I
Oh,
know
yeah.
of that game, but never played it. It's
the wrestling game.
women
with-
wrestling game.
Yeah, they're all woman, all bikini, all sexy implications. It's completely off the hook. I
That was
just
like
enjoyed
PS2
playing that
era,
game. I
right?
still have my copy.
Is that PS2?
Nah, PS2 and Xbox 360.
Yes.
It
Okay.
was backwards compatible.
Okay, that's why I heard about it. I remember seeing it on True Achievements one time for Xbox 360. So, okay, Rumble Rose is a pretty over the top wrestling game. That kind of makes sense.
For you original Xbox fans, Raises Hell.
Raises hell. I don't think I
It's
heard of
a
that one.
third-person kind of shooter game, and it's a disgusting kind of creature must kill the cute little bunnies that have taken over the entire planet, basically. And it's kind of it's a goofy-ass game. Basically, you got to kill all the cuteness.
It's the kind of conquer type of game.
Yeah, I would say Conker's Bad Fur Day is probably the best kind of similarity to it. But
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I only ever owned an original Xbox, so
And that was Raises hell.
yep.
Okay, and I've not heard of that one.
I
And
have.
then Outlaw Golf 2 on the PlayStation 2.
I know of this game, but know nothing about it. It's like, how is a golf game over the top?
All the characters are pretty tawdry. It's a little bit like Rumble Roses, but in a golf version. And after Outlaw Golf 2, they stopped making that kind of style game. And I had so much fun with it. I enjoy that one. Like how
It's like the old MLB Showtime, NFL Blitz kind of feel to it. Those type of games.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not much of a sports gamer, but
More
if I was, I
arcade
would have
than
liked
sim.
like the NBA Jam and NFL Blitz. Those would be the more, the arcadey style sports games would be more
NBA
interesting
Jam
to
was
me
great, man.
than the simulation sports games. So, okay. All right. And you said Carl mentioned one of them?
Katamari Damacy.
Oh, Katamari. Okay. Another one that I know of the franchise quite well because it's held in such high regard, but I've never played a game.
Best
that
$20
franchise.
game I could buy as a middle schooler.
How many? Are there a lot of games in that franchise?
There's at least 4 that I know of.
Okay, so it's not that
Yeah,
many.
there's a couple.
There's a
They
few.
just made a new one recently, which I've been meaning to pick up, but I
Same.
just haven't had the time. Or I keep forgetting about it. It's like, oh yeah, I'll buy this game, and then just dust in the wind. It's gone.
Okay. All right. So for my answer, I know I've brought this game up once or twice before on stream, but I haven't really talked about it very many times. But immediately when thinking about this topic, this is the first thing that immediately popped in my head. I didn't even have to think about it. And it is like one of the most crazy, like over the top. I always describe it as if it's basically a playable anime, and that is Azura's Wrath. This game is so nuts. You're like this demigod, and you and your like 6 or 7 demigod friends are like the protectors of this. I don't even know if it's Earth or just some planet or whatnot. But eventually, in the opening, like after the prologue, you get framed. And so basically all the people that were your friends are now, the bosses you fight throughout the course of the game. And the opening of the game is basically like you're flying from space without a suit or a spaceship or anything. You're just falling from space and like taking out enemy spaceships. And then you make it to the ground. And then the after the prologue, the first boss fight, I remember correctly, his name is Wizen, and he's large, like maybe like a large Dark Soul, probably not even as large as some of the Dark Souls bosses. I'd say he's probably about as big as in Dark Souls. There's the 2 bosses, Ornstein and Smo. I don't remember which one is which, but one of them is big fat guy.
Oh, okay.
The first form of Wizen in Azura's Wrath is probably about the same size as that. So he's like he's maybe like twice your size. That's the first phase. Then the second phase, he becomes probably the size of like a skyscraper. So he's like massive. And then his third phase is he gets bigger than planet Earth, and he tries to squish you with his finger. And then you're going to like such super crazy rage mode that you punch his finger and he explodes. You punch him so hard that you see the cracks ripple up his finger and then his arm, and it zooms out into space because he's bigger than planet Earth, whatever planet it is you're on. And he explodes. And that's just the first boss of the game. That is the only boss in the main game that's like ridiculously like oversized. But some of the other boss fights do get pretty crazy, but just size wise, that one's nuts. Another game that you could qualify is like the final boss in Bayonetta, because at the very end of Bayonetta, I was
just thinking Bayonetta.
You punch the final boss and you have to control it and dodge all the planets in the solar system so that it falls into the sun. This game puts that to shame, because the true final boss this is one of the things I do have to give them a lot of crap for, is the final true ending of the game isn't in the base game. You have to buy it as DLC. So this is one of the most egregious games when it came to DLC, because you didn't even get the full game. You had to buy the rest of the game. I didn't buy it when it was new. I bought it many, 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 many years later for the whole game and all the DLC for probably like $5. But the fact that they sold the true ending of the game as DLC is criminal. But the final boss of the game is so big that they throw not just planets at you, not just solar systems, they throw entire galaxies at you. So it's like one of the most over-the-top boss fights of any video game I've ever seen. They throw galaxies at you, and you have to dodge the galaxies. It's just so ridiculously nuts and over-the-top. So I do give them, they have some very interesting boss fights. I do recommend playing it for the story, and it is an on-rails beat-em-up, essentially, because I played through half the game. I'm like, okay, when do I actually get into the game? Until I realized, oh, no, this is the game. You have, like, little battle arenas and then a cutscene, and then usually, like, a QTE or two. A lot of the cutscenes have QTEs, and then you go into, like, another little battle arena. So there's no, like, open-world exploring. I got, like, halfway through the game. I'm like, oh, this is just how the game is. I just thought I was in a really long tutorial. But I do recommend playing it for the story. I don't recommend playing it for 100% achievements, because the achievements in this game are brutal. It takes like 6 playthroughs to get all the achievements. But the game itself and the story is so just nuts and over the top. I recommend, especially if you're a fan of anime. It's basically, I'm not into much anime. I've seen like a couple of animes, but this is like this is like the epitome to me of an anime in playable video game form.
It sounds like Gurren Lagann to me.
I've heard of that.
I'm an anime fan, so
I've heard of that anime. I know nothing about it, so I can't say.
Yeah, it's very
it sounds like the ending of that, actually, where they start doing galactic level galaxy stuff.
But yeah, it's published by Capcom, same as that Under the Skin game. So the other thing that I do have to give them crap for is the other 2 DLCs is a completely different genre. And I was not happy about that because I did finally get the 100%, but I got this close to giving up on the 100% when I was this close to finishing it multiple times on this game because, like I said, it's a 3D on rails beat 'em up game essentially. But then the other 2 DLCs that are not story related are turned into a 2D fighting game. Like because Capcom and they introduce Ryu and Akuma and it becomes a 2D fighting game. And I don't do fighting games. I'm not good at them. And I almost gave up on getting the 100% when I was like 2 achievements away because it's like it changed genre on me, and this is a genre that I don't play. So that's another thing I give them crap for. So a lot of things I have issues with for the achievement side of things, but a game in and of itself, if you take the achievements out of it, I do recommend it, and it is a crazy over the top ridiculous game in the best ways.
Can I add one more?
Absolutely.
Lollipop Chainsaw.
Okay. I haven't played it, but I figured that would definitely. I would think that game would qualify. Over the top game. Well,
Wild.
I'll add another one. Every Suda 51 game.
Okay. I don't know that I've played any Suda 51
I have
games,
not
but,
played any of those. But
Yes, you have.
we
Lollipop
understand
Chainsaw.
Okay.
Lollipop Chainsaw is a Suda 51 game.
Assuming that you have played the Lollipop Chainsaw.
Yeah, but then
Given that you mentioned
No
it, I'm
More
assuming you
Heroes,
played it.
Killer 7, Killer's Dead, that new game that's coming out, Romeo.
I follow you now.
Romeo's Dead and stuff like that, Romeo's Dead, like all those Suda 51 games. He is the more Japanese version of Kojima, as I
had a feeling that's what you're about to say.
My ears were popping, so I did not understand the words you were saying.
Yeah, Bayonetta could definitely qualify. Another one I didn't play it, but could potentially qualify, and it's kind of in that same genre as Lollipop Chainsaws. Do either of you know the game? I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. It's either Onchibara or One Chibara.
Oni-chan-baka?
It could be. I don't know. It's basically it's a zombie hack and slash with women in bikinis, and they absorb the blood through their skin. So I haven't played it, but that could probably also qualify.
Yeah, that game's one. There's also, I think it's another one kind of like that, where you play as schoolgirls and you gotta fight zombies, and every time you take damage, their clothes come off.
I don't know of that game, but
I'm trying to remember what that game is. I found it out retro hunting.
I feel like I've heard of this one too.
Yeah, there's a lot of over-the-top games. Like another one is
it High School of the Dead? No,
it's kind of like it, but it's not the same thing. It's like Schoolgirl Zombie Hunter, I think it's what it's called.
Yep, I think you're right.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. There's also another Suda 51 game, which is not really well known. It's called Hell Report Michigan, which
I've heard of this.
Never heard of it.
It's the one with the famous vagina monsters.
Yep.
And another thing too is it takes place in Chicago. That's another thing. It's called Hell Report Michigan for Michigan Avenue.
I was like, wait a minute, Chicago's not in Michigan, right?
No,
in Illinois.
Michigan Avenue is a famous thing in Chicago. That's what it's named after. So, yay, Midwest representation. There you go, from a Japanese.
Another shout out to one of my favorite and Nightmare's favorite franchises, Just Cause, is very over the top, explosions everywhere. Yeah. The final boss of Just Cause 2 is great because there's a bunch of missiles that are launched from a submarine, and you're on the deck of the submarine when it launches the missiles, and you grapple to one of the missiles, and you're grappling across a bunch of missiles to get to the final boss who's on the lead missile, and you fight him on top of a missile while it's flying to its destination. It was just crazy, and those games are a lot of fun.
There's a lot of over-the-top games. This could easily be like a 3-hour segment of just all the over-top video games you could think of, and multiple parts, spin-offs.
Yep. So, and Nightmare says, I love Katamari, and we were playing it on the New Year's stream. Yes, I do remember you were playing Katamari on your New Year's stream. That is right.
Yeah, I bet.
All right. Then, for our last topic, we always wind down with our favorite game of the next year, and we are talking about 2017 tonight. So, we'll go around here and each mention what our favorite game of 2017 is, and then after we each give it our favorite game, then we'll go and talk about other games from 2017 that we were big fans of. So, Carl, what was your favorite game from 2017?
Favorite game of 2017 was Hellblade: Senua's Saga Sacrifice.
I just replayed that recently, so I'll be talking about that probably tomorrow.
Yeah, it was
Battling.
It was my favorite new IP of the last generation, and really liked that game. It connected to me on a lot of levels. Ninja Theory did a really great job making a very interesting and unique walking sim, and I loved it very much. Still think it's really good.
Sealed and in the collection. I need to get around to playing that now.
Yeah, they're short games.
Yeah.
Both of them are quite short. Yeah.
These are the best way to describe it are the filmatic kind of games that are out there that kind of are on that par with visual novels where when you get into it, don't expect it to be this crazy over the top combat kind of game. This is more of the artistic side of video games, and I really did enjoy it, including the sequel. I did enjoy the sequel as well too. Yeah,
like I said, I just replayed Hellblade recently, and then right after that I played Hellblade 2 for the first time, and I enjoyed both of them, but I'll get more into detail on that probably tomorrow night on your stream. But good. I didn't even write that one down, but I did like Hellblade.
Yeah, I just had to double check because there's no way in hell I remember every year what came out.
So, all right. What about you, Jeff? What is your favorite game from 2017?
Well, I'm not going to go with the remastered version of one of my favorite games. I'm going to go with an actual original game.
Good call.
Berserk: Band of the Hawk.
I've never heard of that. What is that?
It's based off the anime.
It's a Berserk game?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've heard of the Berserk anime, but I've not heard of this specific game. So
third-person hack and slash. It almost plays a little bit like Dynasty Warriors, just a little bit. It's not too crazy, but it incorporates the story very well, and I'm a big fan of the whole franchise. That I'm even going to show off my little Guts statue when he goes into Berserk mode.
Now, did you buy that one, or did you or Skeeter print that one?
No, I bought that like a long time ago. Their statues in general, like the polyresin ones, are obscenely expensive. This was actually affordable for back then. So, but it's a good fun game, and if you're curious about Berserk, it is a good introduction to the story and the characters.
Okay, I've heard so many good things about Berserk and
dark fantasy, man.
I had a friend of mine who's kept telling me like, "Dude, you gotta watch it." I watched like the first 4 episodes, and I was like,
"Of the actual TV show, not the movies. The CGI movies are."
Oh no, the
story's great, but the visuals are terrible.
I have not seen that. It was the anime. If that's what
the original anime. Yep.
I was just like, this is not interesting me. So maybe I'll give it another chance at some point. But I wasn't.
Well, it tells the story kind of out of order a little bit.
But I do know a lot of people do love Berserk. So Dude says Berserk Warriors. Is that the name of another game, or is you basically just calling it like Berserk,
I think that's
Dynasty
what he's calling
Warriors?
it.
Yeah, it's made by Omega Force. It's essentially
Omega Force. It's essentially Berserk Warriors. Yeah. Okay.
It's another one of those in line of, hey, well, let's make a Muso game out of every anime property we can think of.
Yeah. It's the only media outside manga that acknowledges Wyatt. I don't know who that is, but I know Dude knows his anime as well.
I think the Full Metal Alchemist also had a game kind of like that too.
Okay. So, so for I have a few games that came out in 2017 that I was a big fan of, but if I had to pick one, this was recently in my top 5 Metroidvanias until it got bumped out by Prince Persia: Lost Crown. But one of my favorite Metroidvanias came out this year, and it is based on a movie that everyone considers to be terrible. It's one of those few games where the game is better than the movie, but the game itself is only really tangentially related to the movie. It's not like an adaptation movie, and that is The Mummy Demastered. It is tangentially related to the Tom Cruise Mummy movie, which everyone says is terrible. I didn't think it was that bad, but it wasn't really anything to write home about. I do think the older ones with Brendan Fraser were better, but the Mummy Demastered game is great. I love that game so much. It's a 2D pixel art side-scrolling platforming Metroidvania. It's very Super Metroid-esque, and it has awesome music. It was such a fun game. Probably my biggest knock against it is that, like it's definitely not Souls-like, but it does have one Souls-like mechanic that I'm not a fan of, but I didn't really mind it that much in this game, is that when you die, you have to traverse back to where you died to get your equipment back. That's really the only thing my only knock against it. But besides that, it's a great, awesome game, and I need to play it again, even though I played it. I said that not that long ago, maybe like a year or so ago. I'm like, I need to play it again. And then I played through it again, and I was like, oh, that was great. And I don't even remember when that was, but I need to play through it again. It's not a terribly long game. It's pretty short. It's probably like an 8-hour game, so it's you can get through it pretty quick. And I definitely highly recommend Mummy Demastered. And it's far better than the movie it's based on. So that would be my pick for favorite game from 2017. But we'll also go around here and just if there are any other 2017 games that you were fans of. So as Carl mentioned, Hellblade, I actually didn't write that down, but I was a big fan of Hellblade. And as I mentioned, I just recently replayed it a couple weeks ago, and it was very hazy. I remembered bits and pieces of the game. So I wouldn't say it was like a first playthrough where I remembered nothing, but there was a lot about the game I didn't remember, other than like the mechanics. I remember how the mechanics played, but there's just like stuff about the game that I forgot. But I enjoyed it just as much this time as I did the first time. So that was a good one. Middle-earth: Shadow of War was a great game. I really enjoyed that one. I didn't play it until after all of the microtransaction stuff was taken out. All that controversy had passed, so I didn't deal with any of the, buy your orcs stuff. Although I haven't actually beaten that part of the game. I basically beat the main game, and then what's called the Shadow Wars, which is where all that microtransaction stuff is essentially like the epilogue. I haven't actually done that part yet because that part is actually rather long and frustrating from what I hear. But I did have a lot of fun with that game. I do like Shadow of Mordor, the first game, a little bit better, but Shadow of War was still a lot of fun. Enjoyed that game. And then two more that I really enjoyed from 2017 is Death Squared, which is a really interesting puzzle game. I ended up with it through Games with Gold. So if you like puzzle games, I highly recommend it. And it has a bunch of different modes. There's single player, and there's like up to 4-player co-op modes as well. Although you can do it all solo, and you switch between which one you control at a time. So there's no timing based. It's all like figuring it out based. But it would be interesting to play this game with other people to see the shenanigans that happen trying to figure out the solutions to these puzzles. Yeah, Death Squared was a great puzzle game, and I really enjoyed that one. And then the last one I want to mention is Ghost Recon Wildlands. That was a lot of fun. I played the whole game can be played in 4-player co-op. I played probably like 80% of the game in 3-player co-op with a couple of buddies I know in real life, and had a lot of fun with that. And we haven't played Breakpoint, which is the sequel to it yet, but we'll probably be starting that one sometime soon. That was a lot of fun playing that game in co-op. That's another one of those games where I did play a chunk of it in solo, and I still enjoyed it, but it was more enjoyable in co-op. But I wouldn't put it to the level where like Borderlands, where I found that Borderlands to be very boring solo, which I played most of the game solo, but I have no problem playing it in co-op. I wouldn't put it in that level because I did enjoy Ghost Recon Wildlands solo, but it is just much more enjoyable playing it in co-op. So those are some of the other games from 2017 that I was a big fan of. So, Jeff, any other games from 2017 that you really enjoyed?
Well, I'll bring up the remastered version of Darksiders.
Darksiders.
I'm a huge Darksiders nut.
Okay. I played Darksiders 1 when it came out, way back on the 360 because my roommate had it, so I went ahead and played it. I haven't played anything. The only other one I did play is I played Darksiders Genesis, which is the twin stick shooter. I played that a couple years ago before it left Game Pass. I have since picked up Darksiders 1, 2, and 3, 1 and 2 remasters, and then the third one was already on Xbox One. So I have those in the backlog, and when I do replay Darksiders, it'll almost be like a first playthrough because I almost remember nothing about that game since it's been so long. And then I haven't played 2 or 3 yet, so it'll be a first-time playthrough. And Restream is not liking Jeff tonight. Keeps dropping him and then immediately adding him back. So those are on my to-do list, and I'm looking forward to playing those. I'm going to try to get through them this year. I don't know if that'll happen, but I am looking forward to that because the reason why I never played the second one is because my roommate who got the first one, he got the second one when it came out, and he said it wasn't very good, so I never ended up playing it. But then later on, many years later, I hear kind of the general consensus from the gaming community, and they're like, "Oh no, 2 is really good." And I think a lot of people didn't think that 3 was very good, but
I think it's 3. 2 is a longer game, and there's more to it. They do change a couple things up, but the mechanics are still the same. The story is excellent. I think when they jumped to 3, that's when there started to be a little pullback on like, what are we doing here? And then Genesis came out, and now we're getting a proper Darksiders 4 in the near future.
regarding Darksiders 3, I think I might actually find like that one the best from what I hear, because I've heard
enjoyed
from
it. I didn't
a
have a
lot of
problem with
people. It's very Zelda / Metroidvania esque. So
Yeah.
I'll find out when I play it. But I think from what I hear, Darksiders 3 might be my favorite. We'll see.
None of them are bad games. I just would rank Genesis down on the low level because that's not exactly what I wanted out of a Darksiders
Yeah,
game.
it's completely different genre. So
Yeah.
but yeah, okay. Darksiders the remastered. Excellent. So what did you have any other ones that you wanted to mention?
My wife would probably mention Breath of the Wild.
Okay. I haven't played it because it's just such a departure from Zelda that I'll play it eventually. It's not very high on my to-do list.
That and Assassin's Creed Origins. It's
Oh.
not the best game, but I enjoy the hell out of it because it's set in Egypt.
I know Carl loved it too. I haven't played it yet, but I've played a little bit and I've liked it, but it's very different from the rest. So
Yeah, I really liked Assassin's Creed Origins.
you platinumed that one last year, didn't you?
Yes, I did. And as a history guy, I really like the time frame, as I said many times.
I'm a history nut too.
Yeah.
I really, one thing that I do really like that came out of Origins, and they've done it well. I don't know if they did it with Shadows, but was the Discovery Tour, where it's educational. You can learn stuff about stuff that happened in the time that was introduced with Origins, and that's really fascinating.
I just like you could get a chocobo camel.
Yeah.
One of the weirdest crossovers there. It was just like, there's a Final Fantasy 15
Like, what is
crossover?
happening here?
I could ride around ancient Egypt on a chocobo camel? What's going on? Why not?
So you said that it was a crossover with Final Fantasy 15. So did Final Fantasy 15 get something from Assassin's Creed?
I don't know. I haven't got that far in the timeline there.
All right. All right. Any more, Jeff?
No, I'd have to look through a list and see
All
what
right.
I'm missing here. But
All right. And Carl, what are some of the other games from 2017 that you were a big fan of?
One of them I did enjoy. That wasn't exactly my favorite per se in terms of games I've played, but I did like was Evil Within 2. I actually did enjoy that one a lot. And then even though I think the story is really, really stupid and it gets worse in the sequel, but I did actually enjoy this game at the time. I even got the Platinum Trophy, was Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, okay.
I did feel like that game was super fun to play, but it has one of the most asinine stories that I've ever had the pleasure of getting through to the end. And it's one of those ones where it's just like, this is what people consider good kind of deals, you know?
Because I think, let's see, I'm looking back on... on the last, because you weren't on the previous episode, but the episode before that when we had Tyler on, we talked about the best game with the worst story. I think you mentioned Horizon for one of your answers, right?
Horizon is definitely one of those. I also say like Last of Us 2 could fit into that category as well.
Okay.
It's a really, really great game, but that story is it's rough to get through, and that one's even worse to get through. But I don't know what it is. Not Ghost. I was gonna say, Horizon Zero Dawn just has one of those moments where it's like, what are we doing here? We're sitting here just like, the story only happens because it's stupid. Basically, that's what's going on.
I do have it on Steam. I haven't played it yet. I will be playing it at some point. I just don't know when. But it looks like a fun game.
Yeah, it's a fun, really well, solid, mechanical kind of game. If you can... the story is stupid, but it's not offensively stupid.
Okay.
where it's like you can go with it, then you get the big reveal, and then it's just like, oh, this is stupid. This is the payoff. It's kind of stupid. It's like you go on this epic adventure as a pirate, and then you land on the island with the treasure, and then the treasure is just like, a stick of gum, and you're like,
The
well,
real treasure was the friends we made along the way.
basically that's what it is. You have to like gaslight yourself, going like, well, at least I had fun getting here, I guess.
All right. Any others, or is that?
Wolfenstein New Colossus came out that year. I thought that was 2018.
That game
Really?
was good.
I like
but
that game.
It was really difficult.
I need to finish it.
The game is
I played Old Blood and New Colossus back to back. I never played Old Blood and New Order. I have not played New Colossus. That was Wolfenstein 2.
another over the top game out there too, comparatively speaking.
Okay.
Like way more over the top than the other two. And the other two are over the top.
I've debated so many times on whether to play New Colossus, so I probably will, especially because I'm going to be playing through Old Blood and New Order again here soon. So maybe I'll follow it up with playing New Colossus for the first time.
It's a good game. It's just really unnecessarily, ironically enough, hard.
That's the main reason why I haven't. Is the one I know I won't get all the achievements in it, but I know one of the achievements is for beating it on the hardest difficulty, and you can't turn the game off. It's permadeath, and you have to do it all in one sitting. If you close the game, you have to start over from the beginning of the game. So that's brutal.
Even on medium, which I usually just play, I'm just like, why am I getting like my crap pushed in so bad? I was so confused. I'm like, why is this so hard? And I guess that's a common thing with a lot of people. They were from all the people I interact with. They're like, yeah, it feels harder than usual. And then I put it on easy just because I want to beat the game, and it's insultingly easy. So I'm like, I don't understand what's going on here.
Yeah, I don't remember Old Blood or New Order being very difficult, but I don't remember what difficulty I played it on.
Yeah, I usually play it on like the medium difficulty, usually, because I'm not trying to prove anything at this point. If I really like the game, I'll go back and play it on harder, but I have so many games I gotta play, man, before I die. You know?
Is this just something I imagined, or was there an announcement recently for another Wolfenstein game?
No, it's a rumor.
Rumor. Okay. I was like, I swear I heard something about a new Wolfenstein. It was a rumor. Okay.
I'd be all over that.
You're a fan of Wolfenstein then?
Something
all the way back to the original, man.
Original.
That and Marathon back in the day for me.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
I have the original 3 Marathon games. I played the third one for about 15 minutes on one of my roulette streams, but I'll probably go back and play through all 3 of them from, through the whole story at some point, just so I have an idea of what those games are about.
Yeah.
So, did you also play what was the Young Bloods?
Yeah, I played a grand total of an hour, and I said, why did I waste my time?
I think I started that, and I didn't get much further either.
Noped out of it.
I got my refund back. I was happy about that from Microsoft.
I've heard that game is not good. I do have it because they gave it away for free. So I was like, I'll acquire the license, but I have no intention of ever playing it.
Can't beat free.
So, all right. Last thing here. Dude says, I heard that the Full Metal Alchemist games on PS2 were good.
I've never played them. I want to. But like I said, it's always about finding the time.
Yeah.
That's always the biggest problem, is finding the time.
So, and then Ariana Floyd is in chat saying, hello, boys. Good evening, Ariana. Good to see you again. Been showing up to a bunch of my streams lately, so always good to see you in chat. So, but all right. Well, that about wraps it up for tonight's party chat. So before we say good night, we'll go ahead and go around the horn here and let everyone, plug whatever they got going on. So, Jeff, thanks for coming on and talking video games with me for once.
Oh, yeah.
It's always fun coming on your channel talking Stargate, but glad you come on and talk video games with me. I'd love to have you on for open mic sometime to have more open-ended conversation, but that's usually when you're doing your Stargate files on Thursday night. So, anyway, for anyone who doesn't know about Jeff, go ahead and tell us a little about what you do. The link to his channel is both in the stream title and in the stream description, but I'll drop it here in chat as well. So go give him a sub, and Jeff, tell us what you do over on your channel.
Yeah, we do a little bit of a variety week on our channel. Tuesday nights are usually movie nights. We had to record an episode ahead of time anyways, so this worked out for coming onto our stream. That'll be dropping very shortly. It's the stuff from 1985. We do horror, science fiction. Thursdays are Stargate nights. Every other Friday, we talk about some old canceled TV shows from years past. And every Saturday, we like to have a little live stream talking about news from the week, a little pop culture, a little sci-fi, a little horror, and we give each other a little bit of hell. So it's always a fun time.
Why the heck am I not finding it? I know I put it in the stream description. I'm looking for it in my actual feed, and I can't freaking find it. It
He's
literally
failing.
just disappeared on me. It's not there. What the heck? Did I get unsubscribed from you in real time?
Oh my God, no.
All right, I'll just go to this stream since I've got the link to it there, and click on it there. And nope, it says I'm subscribed. For some reason, it literally did not show up in my my list of all the people I'm subscribed to. So, anyways, go. Oh my goodness, go give Jeff a sub. All right. Dropping the link to his channel in chat, but it is also, as I mentioned, it is in the stream description and the stream title, but dropping it in chat as well. So go give Jeff a sub. He's a good dude, and I always love hanging out with him. So thanks again for coming on.
Yeah,
And
blast. Thank you for having me.
oh no, this isn't your first time on my channel, but this is your first time on my channel talking video games, because you were on when we did top 5 Stargate SG1 episodes.
Yeah,
and I currently talking to Jason at the end of top 5 last week, and as of right now, we're planning on doing top 5 Atlantis episodes at the end of March. So
cool.
I'm looking forward to doing that one. I have to do some more homework on that one, but hope you'll be able to make it. And I'm still waiting to hear back from some other people to see if that works for them.
Right on.
See if it can stick to that date, whether we need to reschedule. But I hope that you'll be on for that one.
Love to.
So, all right. And Carl, what do you got going on?
Well, let's see. Tomorrow night we're back after taking a couple weeks off. Naomi, we're going to be talking about the video games we've been playing with another episode of Backlog Battling, and sitting there and going through all the video games we've kind of been playing, beat, whatever. Listen to our thoughts, give our ideas, all the crazy video games that we've been playing. I will be back also on Thursday with Nerdporial Lifeform.
Ooh.
And we're going to be doing another episode of Legacy Loading. And we're going to be watching a documentary about Donkey Kong.
Oh, hey, I mentioned Donkey Kong earlier.
Yeah, so
you're talking probably classic Donkey Kong, right? Arcade, like with the barrels and Jumpman.
This one is a documentary of G4 Icon, so it's everything prior to 2005.
Okay, so that should include the
Yes.
Donkey Kong Country games, because those were in the 90s.
So I'll talk about the history of Donkey Kong, how it came to be, Rare, obviously, and their work with the Donkey Kong Country and the Donkey Kong 64 games, so on and so forth. That's what we'll be covering. And then, of course, we're going to be talking about our other experiences with more modern Donkey Kong games, including DK Bonanza, which him and I will probably have a fun chat about as well. And then, of course, this Friday, we'll have our weekly video game wrap-up, or recap, I should say, with me and Angry Canadian as we sit down talking about video game news, video game trailers, and so on and so forth. Everyone, if you're also new to my channel, I do a lot of video game unboxing videos, steelbook, collection stuff, shorts, and basically I just talk video games. I got a pretty good depth of knowledge in it, and I, try to introduce people to video games that they've never heard of, or get their eyes on something, or find out about a new story that they maybe didn't hear about here and there. And also just to remind people about the history of video gaming. And that's what Legacy Loading is as a show.
All right. Look forward to your Friday show making a comeback. Missed that the last couple weeks. So,
yeah. I got a lot of stories to catch up on. There's so much stuff that has happened, obviously.
So. All right. As for myself, as mentioned, I will be on Carl's channel tomorrow night for our weekly episode of Backlog Battling. Talk about what we've been playing lately. Looking forward to that because we missed the last couple weeks. And then Thursday night will be a new thing that I've never done before. So it'll be interesting to see how it turns out. And it'll be myself, Lowest Expectations, Dude1286, and Jay Bongo. The four of us are going to be doing a Metroid Prime 4 roundtable discussion and just going into autistic detail about everything the game does right, everything it does wrong, where it falls in the Metroid series for each of us, and just talk about everything that we like and don't like about the game. So that'll be fun, and it'll be interesting to see how that goes. I've never done anything like this. So, and then Monday night, I haven't done this in a while, and I just, as I mentioned yesterday, I finished Revenge of the Savage Planet for Metroidvania Monday. So I'm going to take a week off of Metroidvania Monday because I haven't done my Mass Effect Monday in a while. I think the last one I did was in November. So I'm planning on doing Mass Effect Monday on Monday. So if anyone wants to join me for some Mass Effect 3 multiplayer for a couple hours on Monday evening, let me know. Anyone is welcome to join. I have it on Xbox and on Steam. So if you want to play some Mass Effect 3 multiplayer with me, let me know, and we'll make that happen. And then next week at this time, as usual, is going to be next episode of Top 5, and we are doing Top 5 puzzle games. And we got room for at least one other person if anyone out there is a puzzle game fan. So let me know.
Who do you have on?
Right now, we have Lois joining us, and then we got room for one, potentially two more people.
You know who Jono is?
I do not.
I would say maybe he's one of the Gronkin guys. You can reach out to him. He's a big puzzler fan.
Okay, cool, excellent. I will reach out to him. So, yeah, that'll be next Tuesday. Will be our next episode of Top 5, so that will do it for tonight. So again, Jeff, always great chatting with you. Thanks for coming on and talking video games with me. And Carl, glad you could make it. And Ryan, shout out to you. Missed you tonight, buddy. Hopefully you'll be able to make it next party chat, because I'm holding on to something for like the last couple episodes that I haven't brought up yet, and you need to be here for it. So we'll see you whenever you get back. Hope you're doing well. So everyone in chat, thanks for hanging out with us for another episode of Party Chat. You guys all have a good evening, and we will see you all later. And as always, in the meantime, game on.
Have a great one.
Later.